Everybody has free
Accept me.
access.
We're live.
All right, folks, we're gonna start the meeting. Pledge allegiance. Yes. Not the pledge allegiance.
Yeah.
So we have interviews at 5:45 today and 6. It did not happen. We're gonna have to schedule those for 12:18. Our next meeting at 5:30. Heather, will you take care of that? And I'm gonna assume everyone's gonna be here. I'm not even gonna ask. We're gonna salute the flag now, though.
I only have so many.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
But next,
It'll actually be 5:30.
okay.
Okay, we have a public hearing for Harbor Commission proposed increase the mooring fees to officially open the public hearing. Anyone would like to speak on it? Anyone on the council?
Is there anybody here from the Harbor Commission?
I thought Ben was gonna be here, but I guess not, so.
You have a question about it?
I do, but who do I ask?
You can ask me.
Okay, or Gary, I assume you've been at the meetings. My only question was just on the increase in the fees. When I was reading the description, it describes using CPI as a guide for the rate change, which looks like it's estimated to be 139% over the period since the last rate was changed. But then the final numbers for the $10 a foot for recreation and 12 for commercial not reflected an equal increase. The $10 for recreation is up from 7, which is a 40% increase, just about. And the $12 is up from 10, which is a 20% increase for commercial. So I'm just wondering why the different percentage on the increases.
Well, I think what we try to do probably 20, 22 years ago, when we used to collect harbor fees, it used to go into the general fund. And then when we needed something, we had to come to the council and, money out of the general fund. So I went to the council and I started the harbor management fund. Because by federal regulations, that harbor is a federal navigation area, and all monies that come into the harbor are supposed to be utilized back in the harbor, and that wasn't happening. If there was excess, it was being used by the town for other things. So I created, along with the council, the harbor management fund. So all the funds that get accumulated from the harbor every year from the fees go into the harbor management fund. So we don't want to be in a situation where we have a ton of excess money. So we figured this would be a good place to start. It went up a little bit, and of course, there's so many people on the waiting list, but still you have these people say, oh, I can't afford another $2, on a 20-foot boat for a recreational person is $200. Somebody would pay $2,000 to have that mooring, okay? But we felt that this time that would be a go up. Now, we may have to come back in 3 or 4 years and increase it again. One of the things we had was the harbor master is doing much more work down there. So we had to increase his fee. It's a thankless job. He's trying to work with the commercial guys, with the marina, with the recreational people, and protect the harbor. He also goes out on emergency runs with the ambulance people on the we have down there. So, but at this time, I think the general feeling from everybody was this is what we needed for right now. Now, if it seems like that's not enough, then we can always come back and bump it up a little bit.
So thank you. And that makes sense to me. And I can see that the last time the rates were changed was 2013. So it seems like it's kind of past due for an
It is.
adjustment.
It is.
So you're kind of playing catch up a little bit, which I understand. but still so I'm not questioning the rate increase at all,
Right.
other than to just try to get clarification on why recreational went up 40% and commercial only went up 20%.
Originally, commercial was more money than, it was a bigger jump for the commercial last time, I believe, than what it was this time. So to tell you the truth, I'm not sure what the motivation on was that, because I did miss the last meeting because we were having council meetings at the same time. They were downstairs, so I did miss the meeting when they were going over this. So I can get that answer.
That's okay. And I guess what you're saying is if there's the potential that you might have to go back and tweak it up a little bit. Maybe it's on the commercial side where you have room to go on that since you put up recreation by twice the percentage.
We generally bring in $22,000 to $23,000 a year. Our master's salary is probably around 16,000 for the full year with no benefit except for phone. And then the assistant, I think, is $500. So that eats up most of it.
Yeah.
And we just did quite a bit of work on the town dock because it was built in 1992 and we hadn't really put any big money into it. It was time for safety reasons.
Yeah, nope, makes sense. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, everyone knows, recreation goes up to $10, commercial to 12, and a transient visitor to 40. Is that right?
Yeah, from 30, a transient, we have 2 transient moorings in the harbor. For guests coming in, you have people coming in from down the river and they'll stay in there, or they'll come from the islands and they'll stop at Secana for overnight and then they'll go along to Newport or up the river to Providence or somewhere else. So we have 2 transient moorings. They were $30 a night. Now we're asking to increase to $40 per night.
Right, so recreation 7 to 10, commercial 10 to 12, transient 30 to 40. Is that right?
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing. Thank you. Approval of minutes.
You want to do anything with this to
Is it on the agenda later?
later on?
I think it might be. I don't remember.
I don't think it is, Heather, is it?
No, it is not.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to, hearing no comments from the public, I'd like to push this forward for ratify this.
I'll second your motion. Any further discussion? All in favor?
I,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Approval of minutes. Yes, go ahead.
Just as a procedural question, Larry Anderson. Hearing for Harbor Commission proposed increase to mooring fee. Voted to ratify that, just for point of clarification, the letter they submitted. Related to the 2 sections of the code in the bottom of the road. I think represents the Harbor Master. January 2006 renewal package. They're suggesting you have to you have to amend the ordinance. Is this a hearing for amending the ordinance? Not what the agenda says.
Solicitor,
So if you want to do that, you have to.
have you looked at this, solicitor?
This is not an amendment to the ordinance. This is an increase in the fees.
Are the fees?
That, I think what you got from the Harbor Commission is misworded.
So you will, whatever needs to be done, you'll do it to put it into ordinance form. Oh,
Larry, you're saying language of the 2 sections of the town code would be modified as shown below. That's what you're referencing, right?
Not looking at the ordinance as it stands, they're providing language that. I guess would reflect what you said. Right?
This is,
And so the question is, does the ordinance act to be modified?
it's just,
this is an increase in the fees
right.
to the extent that the ordinance has to be modified at a future date to reflect the increase in the fee.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you for the clarification. What happened? All in favor?
Aye.
I'll do it again. All in favor? Yeah. Now you got it twice, Heather. Okay. Approval of minutes?
Motion to approve minutes of the November 20th town council meeting as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Department head reports?
Motion to place department head reports on file unless anybody wants to pull one for discussion.
I'm gonna pull the town administrator. Thank you. I'm gonna pull the town administrator's report. As you can see it over my head and over here. This will be the first one by our new town administrator, who's outstanding.
Somehow I knew he was gonna do that.
And let's hear your report. I think usually we don't do the report, but since it's the first time, I figured everybody can see your style.
Thank you, and I appreciate it. First, I want to apologize for not getting this into the packet on time. I'm still in training. And Heather is going to train me to do things time on budget. But I did learn that I will, in the future, have these in on Monday afternoon. And since it wasn't in the packet, we thought it might be helpful to the audience to see it on the screen there. And of course, if anyone wants to see it after the fact, Heather will have it town clerk's office. So I've been on the job a month, and I've learned a lot, still have a lot to learn. I've met with all of the department heads and most of the town hall staff individually, and then I've met with the department heads as a group as well.
Could you talk into the mic, please?
Yeah, I'm sorry, oh, there it goes. Hey, it does move. So I met with all the department heads individually and as a group, and we have reestablished monthly department head meetings to just keep everybody aware of what's going on across departments. And so far I've developed 3 priorities for the time I'm in this job, which what I've signed up for is about 6 more months. I find it helpful when I take on a new job to kind of pick a small handful of things to focus on, because otherwise you get hit in the head by 1,000 things every day and it's easy to lose focus. And I think it's important that to make progress during the next 6 months, I remain focused on these issues and the goals that I've outlined here. Obviously, there will be 1,000 other things that come up. But I'm going to try to maintain my focus on these to the greatest possible so that we can create a good foundation for whoever takes it from there. First priority is budget. That seems pretty obvious, given what we've gone through as a town over the last couple of years, that we need to have a good process that's understandable, transparent, and fiscally responsible for preparing this year's budget. I am learning about the mechanics of that process. I knew some of it. I didn't know a lot. And particularly I'm learning about the schedule and who has what role in the process, and it's pretty complicated. But I'm getting my arms around it. I've met with the budget committee chair twice. I'll meet with him monthly going forward. I'm going to the budget committee meeting on Monday night. John McNamee and I will meet with all department heads individually and as a group. Have met with them. I have met with them individually. We will meet with them individually as part of the budget process going forward. I'm working on a document that lays out who does what and when in the whole process, and we'll make that available to anybody who wants it as soon as I've got the final touches on it. I should say Carol Wardell has been incredibly helpful in helping me understand who does what, who has done what historically. John has sent out budget submission forms to all the department heads already, and we are scheduling meetings with them individually to discuss their submissions. And the budget committee also, as I think you all know, sent a data request to all departments and to all outside agencies that have asked for budget allocations in the past. In addition to meeting with all the department heads and the finance director to review all the department requests, I am meeting along with John next week with the interlocal trust to understand more about our insurance costs and how they arrive at those on an annual basis, how they predict them, and how we can have a better handle and not have sort of unexpected spikes in those costs, or at least anticipate them.
So on people who don't know, that's your wheelhouse, that's your expertise.
Yeah, this is like the one bullet on the list where I feel like, oh yeah, I got that. Everybody hates health insurance except me. So that'll be fun on Monday. And then, of course, we'll be presenting a full budget to the council. And I should say, I will be working with the clerk to fulfill the duties of that office as we go through the process, which are numerable. Second area of focus is infrastructure projects and spending. As you know, we've had some problems with documentation and making sure that we get proper reimbursement for projects where we either are fully funded by some outside entity or where we have match from an outside entity. So I am focused on trying to make sure that we improve those processes to date. You can see my actions to date, including meeting with the Department of Transportation. We've now done that twice to understand the funding of paving and repairs to town and state roads. And so starting to get a grip on how we influence the state's plans for road improvements and how we get the complete funding that's available to us from the state for town roads. So the planned actions there are to complete, close out, and claim all the available funding for existing projects that have been funded. Complete any necessary requests for available future funding, which mostly focuses on paving. We have another year of authorized state funding for paving, and we need to figure out what we're going to use that on and do the proper documentation with the state for that. Some of that may require RFPs and contracts and updating of the paving plan. And I'm sure there will be other projects, funding sources that will come through. And my goal is to make sure that when we look at these, we fully understand our obligation and stay on schedule in terms of complying with outside funders. Third area of focus is overall policies and procedures. And my goal there is to implement written policies and procedures for key areas of town operations. I've done a cursory review, and I think there's some work we need to do in terms of human resources, financial controls, and overall record keeping. Continue to work on that. My last bullet is increased reliance on paperless record keeping. There are a lot of file cabinets in this building, and they're not, in some cases, very well organized. They're duplicative, and there isn't a whole lot of standardization. So hoping that we can make some headway on keeping track of things so that anybody in this building can walk away and somebody else can come in and understand how are things organized and how are records kept. That's it. Happy to take any questions.
Outstanding. We have a question, just go right up to the microphone and ask it.
In the past, we had requested information regarding the 24 form. Is that in-house now?
A draft is in-house. Oops, sorry. Here's my mic. A draft is in-house. There are some outstanding items on which we need to provide more information back to the auditor. It's not complete. It should be very soon.
Be complete.
The best guess from John McNamee, when I talked with him today, is by the end of the calendar year.
Please,
By the end of the calendar year, so by the end of December.
by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And the 25.
The 25 audit is on his list after that. He's done a lot of work on it, but can't predict when that will be done yet.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Larry, sure.
Larry Anderson, thank you, Andy, for that report. The department's still up for me with your statement, present full budget proposal to council.
Mhm.
And I would just suggest to perhaps you and to the council that and discussions have already taken place. I would probably be something to the Charter Review Commission myself. My observation is, having worn many hats, is that at present, the the duties of the town administrator as spelled out, really not at all in the charter, but in an ordinance, are pretty fuzzy about the town administrator's role in recommending and assembling a budget. Now, really, now that we have a town administrator, both interim and looking forward to another one, I think that the council, they want to think more proactively in the near term about, rather than waiting for what's from the charter, perhaps thinking about in the ordinance where the town administrator's duties are currently defined, really, and perhaps in the charter. I think in the charter, I think we need some more robust language about the role of the town administrator in actually assisting in producing a budget proposal, which, remember, the budget still is adopted by the town council. The budget committee can still play a role in recommending any proposal, but I do think part of how we've gotten to the situation we have been in is that the responsibility for the town administrator or past town administrators really has not been clear about this. I think there's been some frustration and confusion. So I would urge that the council and perhaps the administrator not wait, but wait in the process of the charter review to look at this question about the budget, about the town administrator's role in clearly just describing what that role is. And I think it should be something along the lines of what you put in your statement here, which the charter really doesn't, the
Right.
ordinance really doesn't say.
Sort of a presumption, yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Michael Borelli, 510 West Main Road. To piggyback on Larry's statement, the town clerk and the budget committee are elected officials. The town administrator is an appointed official.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you. Old business one. Receive letters of interest from the Housing Opportunities and Municipal
I
Strategy.
think we need to make a motion to
Make a motion on,
approve the,
Well, you made a motion and a second on the
I have it all,
what's.
all in favor?
Hey,
Now we want to make a motion on the,
on the whole package.
on the whole thing.
on onions.
Anya's, yeah. So a motion.
So moved
Do you have a motion?
to approve the town administrator's report.
Second, all in favor? Aye, thank you. Old business one, receive letters of interest for the Housing Opportunities and Municipal Strategy, Homes Committee, Ad Hoc Advisory Committee. Want to thank everyone that sent in letters to participate in this committee. The law firm Klein and Horn is going to facilitate and lead this committee. I'm going to make a motion now to name it. Make a motion to assemble an advisory committee to include James Harrington, Jonathan Gabriel, Kevin Gallagher, Kurt Peters, Brendan Hayes, Taylor Johnston, Jim Locke, two counselors, McHugh and Talbot, to serve as an ad hoc advisory committee charged with considering and recommending municipal strategies to increase availability of economical housing for young families, individuals, and first-time home buyers.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody that put themselves forward for it. We got several letters from young people, I guess under the age of 30, which is exciting to think that we'll have them on that committee with us. And their voices are very important that we hear them now because this definitely impacts them now and going forward. So I'm looking forward to doing the work.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Old business two. Receive applications for a part-time senior activity coordinator. Go to offer employment. Heather, I know we have two now, so we're going to schedule interviews. I think we talked about that in the beginning. So that'll be on 12/18. And I will take this opportunity to see if the councils will agree at 5:30 at 12/18 on camera to be here at 5:30 next Thursday.
So
Guys,
moved.
like, I've got
Next Thursday.
Big thing.
next meeting, which is on a Thursday, sorry. Everyone want to check their Google calendars and look, see what it says on there. Are we okay with that? I know you enjoy that, Andrew. Coming from Providence, fighting that traffic at 5:30. I don't think we need a motion for that. I don't think we need a motion for that. 4, Recreation Committee request, council.
Wait.
Yeah, well,
Here.
3. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
3, old business 3. Follow up on draft short-term rental STR ordinance from planning board. Counselor Talbot?
Thank you, Counselor McHugh. As liaison to the planning board, I'm very familiar with all the work they did on this draft ordinance, and I want to thank them for it. The council and the planning board both first worked on a draft back in 2022, but were unable to get it over the finish line. In the 3 years since, the number of short-term rentals in town has doubled. This trend is impacting the character of neighborhoods, decreasing the availability of long-term housing, and has public health and safety implications. We need to finish the job and have a common sense ordinance that aligns with our community goals and balances the needs of residents with the well-being of our town. I'd like to make a motion to assemble an advisory committee to include Fire Chief Petrin, Tax Assessor Denise Cosgrove, Resident Ben Gauthier, short-term rental owner Mike Russo, multiple short-term rental owner Kristen Silvera, Chief Information Officer Jonathan Gabriel, and myself to serve as an ad hoc advisory committee charged with reviewing the draft short-term rental ordinance and return to the council with a recommendation.
I'll second your motion.
So back in 2022, as I said many times, this came to the council and had one public hearing for people that were having problems with short-term rental, mainly in disturbance and noise and parking on other people's property. So I put together a requirements for short-term rentals at that time, which was pretty simple, which was requirements. You had to register with the town, with the name, phone number, email address for the owner and or manager that was available 24 hours a day. The owner must live in Little Compton 6 months of the year or have somebody that, a contact person. Owner and or manager's address, contact person within 1 hour distance, rental property address, number of rental units in the house, must be for 3 days or more, prefer weekly rentals. That was because they were coming in on Fridays and Saturdays for weddings and doing whatever they basically wanted to do. Must have off-street parking or suitable parking that will not restrict neighborhood ingress or egress. Must have fire safety inspection, which I don't believe we can do. The inspection's generally done when the get a CO for the house. I talked to the chief about that. He said he can't just go in and do that. Must adhere to all local ordinances and noise ordinance, decibel meter. Must not disturb the tranquility of the neighborhood. So I'll give these to, you want to take one, everybody wants to take one, so they have it, and maybe you can start with that.
Definitely, thank you.
Anyways, on the second public hearing we had quite a few more people that felt that their hands were going to get tied on this and they were going to be restricted from using the short-term rentals. So I don't think we need something that's 15 pages long. I think something that's 2 pages long, 3 pages long maybe, but something that's not a hindrance, because a lot of people that live in town rent out a second property they have. I know Jim Locke does. And there's also some elderly people in town that rent out a. I certainly don't want to hinder people. If we curtail that activity, they're not going to be able to stay in town because they won't be able to afford the taxes, between taxes and food and whatnot. So it's not only the I hate to use the word yahoos coming in town and creating problems. A lot of these that, I mean, I have one myself. I live 200 feet away from it. There's plenty of parking. There's no problems. I rent on a weekly rental only. So I think there's a lot of people that really are good. It's the same thing. It's the 5% of any occupation or anything that will have the problem, and then they deter for the rest of us. So anyways, that's something that I made up in 2022. And then after that second public hearing, we decided to leave it in the police chief's hands as far as parking and noise, because that's what the people came to us for noise and for parking. So, thank you.
Anyone else?
So,
Get someone up. Your microphone's on, sir.
First of all, thanks, Gary, for giving me the opportunity to deny the fact that we don't. We actually give our house away.
Oh.
Never charge.
Oh, well, but it's just a short term.
It's a short term. but-
There you go. No rental involved. I got you. Sorry, Jim.
Anybody else want to set the record straight out here? Anyone? I have a motion and a second. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Old business for Recreation Committee requests council approval for the following recommendations. Spend up to 2,100 for swing set parts. I'm gonna make that motion right now.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. B, responsibility for maintenance and upkeep of the playground with coordination and communication with the school committee through the school committee's representative. Happy to make this motion
Second.
with the caveat that any maintenance or upkeep needs to be recommended to the council for their approval. So I'll add that on to the motion.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Get that one, Heather?
Mhm.
Thank you. C, John LaRue, perform a formal inspection of the playground to up to his 2023 inspection, as well as perform a full safety assessment and make a recommendation for repairs with associated costs required and report findings to the budget committee and the town council. I'll also make that motion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. D, accept the plaque honoring Robert Mara and have the town hall install the plaque at the town landing at a location other than the well of the town's choosing. I will make that motion.
Second.
I have a second, and I will task the town administrator with executing this. I know she will. I know it's not on your goals, but hopefully you can squeeze it in.
Or Rob, I'll do it.
Thank you. He's a wonderful man. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Old business 5, consider a draft resolution in support of enacting a homestead exemption.
Mr. Solicitor.
Standard resolution that would be forwarded to your legislative delegation in order for the homestead exemption legislation, which is attached to that, to be introduced in the 2026 General Assembly session.
So you'll have all the necessary paperwork to give to them?
What you have is what's going to be forwarded to your state senator and your state representative so that they can put the legislation in. Pre-filing begins, I believe, on December 15th. So I don't know if it goes in then, but it'll go in early January, and hopefully it gets through the General Assembly in time that it gets back here. You can enact your necessary ordinances and get it so that it's in order for your financial town meeting in May.
You want my motion to task you with that, sending it to the legislatures?
I prefer if actually Heather did it,
Okay.
so it's more official.
So I'll make a,
Certainly speak to them, but it should be coming from your town clerk.
let me ask a question. Is there any public hearing that's necessary before a council submits such a request?
No,
Thank you.
I'll make a motion, resolution for the homestead exemption, for our clerk to send to our legislature.
Second.
Is that good enough?
It is, yes.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. New business, change December 2026 council meeting dates to the 3rd and the 17th.
Motion to approve.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Letter from Enbridge regarding proposed Algonquin gas trans LLC reliable, affordable, resilient enhancement parcel. I'm gonna go to my town administrator, who was on the Little Compton Agricultural Trust where this came up. So I think you're an expert on this one too, aren't you? Go for it.
Thank you. Yeah, basically the letter we received, which went to both the town clerk and myself, notifies us that Algonquin is they're planning what they call an enhancement project, which mostly involves increasing the size of the pipe that makes up their pipeline. There is no town, some of the letter is worded as if we may be a landowner affected by this. There is no town land affected involved in this. I clarified that with him. There is some ag trust land where either the ag trust owns it outright or they have an easement. And so I gave him Don McNaughton's contact info. He's going to get in touch with Don directly. A letter went out to abutters and owners who might be affected by this, and they are in the process of following up on that letter to give people an opportunity to understand what's going to be done. At this point, they're only looking for permission to survey the properties. And the actual work would happen at some point in the future if they get all that permission.
We need to take action on this, Anya.
No.
Motion placed on file.
Thank you. I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Request from the DPW director to scrap the red 2002 Mack dump truck housed at the transfer station. Again, town administrator, I talked with the DPW director and also with you. It looks like it's time to get rid of this rot box, and we're gonna charge you to do that.
Okay.
I'll make that motion to charge the town administrator and the DPW director to come back to the council with lots of money that someone's gonna pay for this.
Second.
Any other discussion?
I know there's,
Who seconded?
And
Thank you.
go ahead, Gary.
I know there's a site, you might ask the DPW director about it, where sometimes even Sal might know, where you can advertise these. There might be something on it that somebody else needs because they have a truck similar to this, that they'll get parts off it instead of just junking it.
Okay.
Getting nothing for it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. New business 4, request from Little Compton Village Improvement Society, Inc. For use of Veterans Field for their 5th annual Sakana Plant Fair, May 1st. And 2nd, 2026. I'll make that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I would just ask that Michael Folcarelli's here, isn't he?
Yes, he's in the back.
That we check and contact the Little League so that you don't have a bunch of Little Leaguers, parents over there. Yeah, thank you.
I'm sure they're gonna adhere to all the local state ordinances for that.
Don't hit a plant fight out there, that's for sure. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. New business 4, request from Little Compton Village Improvement Society, Inc. for use of Veterans Field on Family Day, August 1st, 2026. I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
New business 6, receive request from Little Compton Village Improvement Society. The budget committee is stroking the amount of 10,000 repair and maintenance of the Brownell House.
Motion to place in the budget folder.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, thank you. 7, receive a request from the Tiverton Little Compton Prevention Coalition to the Budget Committee. A stroke in the amount of $1,000.
Motion to place in the budget folder.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. 8, receive request from the Eastern Rhode Island Conservation District to the Budget Committee, a stroke in the amount of $1,500.
Motion to place in the budget folder.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Board of License Commission is none, communications none, consent none, motion to pay the bills.
Motion to pay the bills is written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you.